the tabernacle. And it says, when you shall gather in all your all the fruit of the land. That's why it's also called the ingathering. All right, that feast has another name. It's called the tabernacle. It's called the ingathering. It's also called Sukkoth in the Hebrew, which is the dwelling in the booths. Okay, read on.
And ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of brook. And ye shall rejoice before the Most High your power 7 days.
Right.
And ye shall keep it a feast unto Yah 7 days in a year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month.
Right.
You shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelite born shall dwell in booths.
Right.
That your generation know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths. When I brought them out of the land of Egypt, I am Yahweh, your power. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of Yah.
Right. So the Most High declared the feast of the power. So we dwell in booths. What does that mean to dwell in booths? Tents, right? So we come out of our houses, our homes, our comfort, our couches, our back screens, and everything you got at home, and you dwell in booths, right? For 7 days, all right? Really 8 days. The first day and the last day of convocation. So we have a feast the first and last day, and the rest of the days in between, we dwell in booths. All right. Times past, we've been at Quiet Water Park. It would behoove us to, start to look at that and start to reserve, those areas so they don't get occupied. Part. The dates. What is it?
October 13th to the 20th.
October 13th to the 20th. Let me see. Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. October 13th to the 20th. Just like it one moment, I'm just looking at it. Yeah, 13th to the 21st. October 13th to the 21st. All right, so start reserving your tents from now. The Quiet Water Park. In years past, we basically had a whole park. You know what I mean? So we want to keep it that way. So we're going to get it early so people don't infiltrate the park, right? So try to get the whole thing locked down. So from the 13th to the 21st of October, okay?
All right. There should be no excuse this year. Get your stuff early. Get it done early.
Get it done early. Next week, this week, reserve your days. Okay? That concludes the portion for the Shabbat. The Most High, hallelujah. Praise be to God, mercy to Jacob, was mercy truly endures forever. All right, so at this time, like I said earlier before, we have a section of brothers establishing a camp or a zone for Light of Zion for the teaching of the word of the Most High out in Fort Pierce. We have that's for the brothers. It's important that we spread this word, we spread this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and that we create small sanctuaries. Like the Father said, I believe that's Ezekiel. Let's show all that. We got a precept, man. I should be unto thee as a small sanctuary. What is it? Ezekiel 13 and 5. Yeah, that was just no Bible. Ezekiel 13 and 5. Huh? That's not it? Small sanctuary. I think it's 11.
11.
Yeah. It's 11. Yeah, 11:16. There you go.
No, they talk about now.
Yeah, 11:16.
Ezekiel 11, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
Therefore say, thus saith Yahweh the power,
Uh-huh.
although I have cast them afar off among the heathen.
Right, we was cast off or far off amongst the heathen. We are cast far from our land. Where's our land at?
Jerusalem.
Jerusalem. We are far away. I'm talking about a 16-hour flight, it seems like? Forever flight, right? But we cast off and far away from our land, right? We know?
And although I have scattered them among the countries,
right? We've been spread all through North, Central, South America. Our people are in Africa. Our people are in Europe. We're all over this earth, you know?
yet will I be to them
This how it will be to them. It's how we're going to come to us, you know?
as a little
As a
sanctuary.
little sanctuary. So there's small sanctuaries throughout the whole earth that come together in the name of Yahweh Hashem Mashiach Elohim. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So don't think that, looking for numbers in some big mega church. That's not what the Most High dealing with. He's dealing with small gatherings that's sincere to his word. Because when you went to big mega churches, the sincerity go out the door. You know what I'm saying? That becomes about power of man in this out of man, and all these other things come into play. Big money being spent, all that stuff. Most High is not with them big money churches. All right, our brothers try to create big money churches in Israel back in the days. We know that doesn't work, and they're still trying to do it today. But we're gonna be unto the Most High as a small sanctuary. Right? We're going to keep it small, but we're going to be all over the place. They're not going to be able to go anywhere without running into the Israelites. That's right. All right? Every state you go, every city, every corner, this word is going to be going out, thus saith the Most High. That's right. Okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to bombard these people with the truth. Hopefully they wake up, because we know that's how we get out of here. That's the keys to getting out of here. One of the keys to getting out of here is that his word, his gospel, be spread all over the earth. And once that's done, and Israel has heard, all of the chosen have heard what they need to hear, we gone. Okay? Right. We gone. So that's why it's a motivation, it's a push. Every brother, every sister that's motivating a brother, and then all y'all sisters that's that's wives of brothers that do this work, motivate them to do this work. Right. Don't try to distract them and pull them from this work. Push them to do this work, in fact. Send them out there to do the work of the Most High, because then that is all our salvation. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, so it's got to be a family stand to make this thing happen, so in the spirit of the Most High. So any other announcements that I might have missed, or you think that I need to let people know? Sewing class, it's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the sewing class tomorrow. So for the sisters sewing class, let me reiterate that. Sisters sewing class tomorrow. Okay? So, all the sisters that interested in supporting that venture, please be in attendance. 10 a.m. I believe? 10 a.m. All right, 10 a.m. right here.
Class is a project-based class. We are making
All right, they're making pillows.
materials that will listed.
Okay, for those that are not in the sisters chat room, they're making pillows tomorrow. All right, they're practicing being pillars of rest tomorrow. Right, and they're making pillows for your comfort. All right, so make sure that you make it to this class so you know how to make pillows. And you know what? All the ingredient, the material that goes into making a pillow, you got to bring that with you. All right, bring it with you. All right, if you have a sewing machine, bring it with you. There will be some sewing machines here, but bring yours with you. It'll be a better experience if you have your own. All right. Go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, did any sisters volunteer to actually do the fringes for hire yet?
To do the fringes for fringes for hire? Yeah, I believe Alyssa, she rose her hand doing fringes for hire. All right, he said for hire. All right, so And you volunteered your rib, you would volunteer, sis? Are you aware of that? She looked like, what? Me? Yeah? Yep, you've been volunteered, right? You've been saluted, you've been recruited, right? So if you need fringes, you can see, the sisters about that. Any other announcements? Yeah, going out to do the camp today. We're going out to Winwood. There's a
Right?
what kind of festival is that? Kumpalas or something like that?
It's Haitian flag day.
Tom Loyal.
That's right.
You guys go teach Levi to stop being Haitian at the Haitian flag day. Okay? That's gonna be the topic today. Stop being Haitian.
That's right.
We're Levites, all right? And we're gonna get them a new flag.
Right.
We're gonna replace their flag with the flag of Masraya Yashua. That's the mission for today. That's what we're gonna do today. All right, so we're gonna put that. We're gonna replace their flag at their flag.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
I just want to bring out an excerpt. This is a book called the Monroe Doctrine in relation to Republic of Haiti. So that comment that Donald Trump made a while back said Haiti was a shithole, right?
Yeah.
But they went into a Columbus diary, and this is a comment that he said this is in relation to Haiti. He said it is a natural paradise, and the description of its beauty and resources by Columbus is as true today as it was more than 400 years ago, he wrote. Okay, so now presently they're saying that it's a shithole, but Christopher Columbus, one of the first that came over here, said they when they saw Haiti, they thought it was in paradise.
Wow. Every poverty-stricken person or area in the land of Haiti was created by the so-called white man and his oppressive forces that he had over all of the Caribbean River, right? So we got to be mindful of that. We see our people in certain conditions in these different lands and islands. Trust me, it's not done by those that live there, but it's the oppressive forces that would hover above, right, and create the problems and the issues that's in those areas. Remember, order through chaos. That's the way he runs this land. All right, so he creates the problem and then he makes you come to him for the solution. All right, so we see our people impoverished in certain areas, certain towns and cities. We know that this is a system that creates this. A system creates this. Because prior to Esau being here, our people dwelled in all these lands richly, calmly, without need of army and navy and we didn't need any of those things, right? So, and Esau recorded that in his history books. So he came over here and said these people didn't even have gates and borders. They didn't have military. What's wrong with these people, right? Because we didn't need it. Nobody was trying to break through and steal, all right? So because we were indigenous people, meaning a holy people, a righteous people, all right? So we're going to get back to that. But right now we got to defend ourselves against the wicked one, all right? So we got to stand strong. So with all that being said, we're going to pray, praise, and get on our way to deal with this the matter at hand. All right, go out, everybody, keeping their Sabbath day with the light of Zion. It's a blessing and honor to have all of you with us. It's a blessing and honor to be returned back to our heritage, and we're going to continue to do this work. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Who's the power? Who's the power? Who's the power?
Yahushua. Yahushua.
Holy, holy, holy.
Holy.
Is the name.
Is the name.
How we know
How we know.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Holy, holy, holy.
Holy, holy, holy.
Is the name.
Is the name.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Kwa manawi Yahweh.
Kwa manawi Yahweh.
Kwa manawi Yahweh.
Kwa manawi Yahweh.
Kwa Mashiach Yahushua.
Kwa Mashiach Yahushua.
Kwa Mashiach Yahushua.
Kwa Mashiach Yahushua.
Kwa Yeshua.
Kwa Yeshua.
Kwa Yeshua.
Yeshua.
Barakatei Yahweh.
Barakatei Yahweh.
Hashem.
Hashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Hawa.
Hawa.
Dalinawa. Hashabat.
Hashabat.
Bashalom.
Bashalom.
Hamkushah.
Hamkushah.
Shemai.
Shemai.
Yakalayu.
Yakalayu.
Barak.
Barak.
Barapah.
Barapah.
Rakazak.
Rakazak.
Ramagan.
Ramagan.
Yashmael.
Yashmael.
Akim.
Akim.
Wa.
Wa.
Akwati.
Akwati.
Hamkushah.
Hamkushah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hashem.
Hashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Yahak.
Yahak.
Shaitan.
Shaitan.
Yahak.
Yahak.
Shaitan.
Shaitan.
Yahak.
Yahak.
Kol.
Kol.
Rai.
Rai.
Rahayim.
Rahayim.
Yahak.
Yahak.
Kol.
Kol.
Rai.
Rai.
Rahayim.
Rahayim.
Hamkushah.
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 All praises be to the part Amos and Jacob for his mercy truly endure forever. Baruch Hashem Yahweh, we ask you to receive the prayer that is written in the book of Sirach, chapter 36. Sirach 36, verse 1. Have mercy upon us, O Yahweh, of all, and behold us, and send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee. Lift up thy hand against the strange nation, and let them see thy power. As thou wast sanctified in us before them, so be thou magnified among them before us. And let them know thee as we have known thee, that there is no power but only thou, O Yahweh. Show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. Raise up indignation and pour out wrath. Take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. Make the time short. Remember the covenant, and let them declare thy wonderful works. Let them that escape be consumed by the rage of the fire. Let them perish that oppress the people. Smite in sunder the heads of the rulers of the heathen that say, there is none other but we. Gather all the tribes of Yahweh together, and inherit thou them as from the beginning. O Yahweh, have mercy upon the people that is called by thy name, and upon Israel, whom thou hast named thy firstborn. O be merciful unto Jerusalem, thy holy city, the place of thy rest. Fill Zion with thy unspeakable oracles, and thy people with thy glory. Give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning, and raise up prophets that have been in thy name. Reward them that wait for thee, and let the prophets be found faithful. O Yahweh, hear the prayer of thy servant, according to the blessing of Aharon over thy people, that all they which dwell upon the earth may know that thou art the power, the eternal power. By Hashem, Hamashiach Yahushua, the one of them Yad, Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. In the mouth of men, Yahweh perfect the praise. In the mouth of men, Yahweh perfect the praise. In the mouth of men, Yahweh perfect the praise. Hallelujah. Yahweh perfect the praise. Yahweh perfect the praise. Yahweh perfect the praise. Hallelujah.